What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we're here for another podcast, this time again with Mixed. Our own links, of course, in the description below. Today we're going to be talking about your
Preston
club.
North End.
Yes, so we've already spoken about Man City a couple of times. We're going to be talking about Preston this time in podcast number 3 in the JSGC podcast series. We're going to be talking in general about the 2019-2020 season for Preston, and talking in general all things football and of course transfers too. Before we start with this video though, we're first going to be talking about our previous video like we like to do. So of course it's come the first video in our podcast series to surpass 1,000 views, so thank you everyone that did watch that, and thank you for all of the comments and likes and shares and everything else. So we ended up getting 42 likes, which is fantastic. Not expecting this video to get as many views or as likes, but you never know. So I'll set a like target. We'll try and look for 30. I've done other Preston videos in the past. Most of them have got to around 30, so we'll target something similar for that for this video. And just having a look at some of the comments on the last video, of course we'll just read out a couple of them. So first one coming in from TK514, thank you for your comment. They put, the next captain will be David Silva until he leaves next year. Honestly, I'm shook, but I wish him the best. Let's not ever forget how much he helped us build this squad, help build this legacy. We'll miss you. And this, of course, is in response to Vincent Kompany announcing that he was retiring from Manchester City. There's another comment from Just Some Guy. Thank you for your comment too. He said that, what the fuck? No, it's a real bereavement. God, who's next? David Silva, Maguire, of course, they may well leave soon. I think that it's Captain De Bruyne just next, and he's looking forward to Vincent Kompany's testimonial. There won't be a dry eye in sight. So again, thank you for your comment. And another comment lastly coming from T As, thank you for your comment too. He puts, I'm not convinced about the transfer ban as what I am. Most big clubs are going to get investigated for transfer bans, and I'm quietly confident that there probably will be a transfer ban. That's in regard to the last video. So we're going to crack on with this video, and we're going to be talking about Preston North End. And just this week with Preston North End, they announced their new kit for the upcoming season. They've not announced the away kit or the third kit just
usually
yet.
a week before the away kit.
Before the season?
Yeah, usually
really?
before the season. Strange
that. But they've announced the new home kit, and so we're going to talk about that. So Aaron, what's your opinion on your new home kit for the 2019-2020 season?
Yeah, this is a special mention since it's the 24th of May. Happy PNE Day, or Happy Wembley Day for Preston fans. 4-0 on that glorious day 4 years ago.
Simon Grayson.
Yeah, so Simon Grayson, but also an honourable mention for Sir Jermaine Beckford. And also an honourable mention for Paul Hunter, and also, who can forget, Paul Gallagher's 2 assists. But what a day it was, yep.
Good day.
So like in the photo, the famous photo of Beckford's hat-trick, that you're actually in it, in the blue hoodie, just stand down.
Yes.
That is JSGC, if you ever see that famous photo of Preston
Speak about
North
the
End.
kit and I'll find the picture one moment.
Well, yeah, onto the kit. I was having a look through Twitter the other day of our new kit, and I saw this. It made me laugh, and I saw this Nike template of a shirt, which is the exact same as a PNE kit that we've just released.
It looks like a gym shirt. You know when you
looks like a gym shirt,
you buy your Nike gym shirt and you've just
well,
started
like it's
the
an
gym.
exact replica. I think it's 13-14 quid it was, and all it's missing is a PNE badge and the 32 red on it. Well, no, that's classic Nike for you, or Nike, whatever you want to call it.
They're so generic.
Yeah.
We've had Nike kits for ages now.
But I'm a grown adult, I don't really care about kits anymore. I don't really care.
I do.
I don't. Because then just past that age, I'm like, I used to look out for it as a kid, always for a new PNE shirt.
Yeah, do you know what gets me with kits? When you're doing kits, sorry, I'm just having a look at my phone trying to find that picture, but what gets me with kits is you want the kit to be nice, and when you're searching around, some fans do some wonderful designs of kits of what they would like to see on the kits, and there's some absolutely great ones out there. Then you get served up disappointment for your actual kit, and I've seen some fans that are disappointed.
Yeah, but in exact the same as I'm hearing rumours it might be red our away kit this year. So the green or the yellow might be red.
I've heard some people are upset about 32 Red betting company on there. They don't want a betting company. So what's your opinion on that?
I think that's a different topic altogether, isn't it? The betting companies that absolutely dominate the football market.
Yeah.
I heard, as I was reading that you know how much they've like How much are put into football? I think it's 300 million, something like that.
I was going to say, when you put in...
It's Derby sponsored by 32 Red. Leeds. I'm not too sure on Leeds, whether they are.
Rightio. If you're just watching the video, there is this picture that's come out before. And if you see the blue... I don't know how clear it's appearing on the camera, but I'll try and get it to focus. But if you look at the guy in the blue top just there, that's me. There we go.
Yeah, so I'm a little bit further up.
You're a little bit further up. He went to the toilet.
Missed the famous goal.
Missed the fourth goal.
Yeah.
To seal the deal. It was good. Anyway, yeah, betting companies tend to put a lot of money into football, and they're one of the biggest profit makers from football, and so sponsoring and putting money back in.
I feel sorry for the kids because they won't wear exactly what those players are wearing, and they can't.
Yeah.
Because you're not allowed to gambling on a kid's kit.
No.
And they want to wear what their heroes are wearing.
Can you just show your top to the thingy there?
Yep. This is from 2011, 12th season, I think.
People's got a problem. There we go.
Tenants.
Is that not a beer company?
Yeah. And again, yeah, we had that before.
So what's the difference?
Like, for me personally, one of my favourite sponsors, I like Virgin Trains.
Did you?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. I liked your...
But yeah, Preston fans, what do you think of the new kit? And also, what do you think of the betting companies that dominate football? Is it right or wrong?
I saw someone commenting on the red. They said they liked 32 red being in red because some Preston fans want it to be in Preston's colours.
Yeah, like Derby do.
Yeah, and someone said they liked it being in red.
I didn't mind it. My favourite kit at Preston is the 2005 one when we had new Redges in red.
I was just about to say that, and people were saying, someone said that they liked the 32 red because it reminds them of better times when you were sponsored by New Reg,
which was Billy Davis era.
Which was in.
That was a team
in red too. So yeah, I don't know about the kit, if I'm honest. I say it's very generic. And
to me, it's lazy. It's a lazy design.
I don't like Nike, if I'm honest with you. That's not.
For me personally, it's too much blue on the home kit, but I'm not really bothered.
No, I just don't like Nike that much. I find the clothes cheaply made.
One mention I will give is I don't know which PNE fan's done it, where I saw the away kit. He's doing it. It's like a black colour with Adidas. I really liked his design on it.
So kudos to that.
Yeah.
So that's the kit pretty much talked about. So we'll get into the meat of the video now, which transfers.
Right, should we do transfer or should we discuss last season's performance?
I think we'll talk last season's performance.
I think last season, I've not really got a lot to go at transfers at the minute, and we're just the rumour mill. But we'll go
I think if we go off last season's performances, it'll give us a good idea of what we want to achieve.
Actually, I think we can blend it in. Transfers. We had a very slow transfer policy last year.
It sounds to me like you're having the same again this year.
Like, it's just so disappointing. I mean, it was a weaker side last season, and that's why we got such a poor start. Didn't help with the two injuries, unfortunately, to Maguire and Bowden.
Yeah. So you got off to a slow start, and when you're getting off to slow starts, ultimately, it cost you in the end. Yeah. You end up falling behind. You're always playing catch up. It's always difficult.
Well, I do. It's bottom by the end of September.
Yeah, it's always difficult though when you're playing catch up. Always, you're always putting yourself under pressure. Then you managed to find your feet. Didn't you?
I got fixtures up. Let's have a look at PNE's fixture. I know we won our first game and went to a QPR. We won't win again. So I want to see how many games we actually went without a win. I know that there's that famous, not famous, but that match against Villa. I know that turning point.
Famous. Jesus.
Just wouldn't know it's famous in terms of PNE, but.
Right, so you started the season off.
Right, here we go.
In your match against Queen's Park Rangers, which you won, as you correctly said. Before you followed it up with a defeat.
It's comfortable one, header from Alan Brown.
Yeah, you followed it up with a defeat away at Swansea. Before a 2-2 draw against Stoke. It turned out they didn't have a strong season. A couple of losses away from home, coming up against Norwich. And
back in the Carabao Cup with excellent performance at Ellen Road with Barker ripping Leeds apart.
Yeah, before following up with a disappointing
2-2 draw against Boyle.
Then a defeat to Reading again, disappointing. A loss to Leeds.
3-2 Sheffield United. See a running theme, scoring but we're conceding.
Yeah, 2-2
against Borough, but we
in the Carabao Cup before you went out on penalties. You lost at home to West Brom. You drew 3-3 against Aston Villa.
was a turning point, 3-3. I remember they had a penalty last key that top to toes. It went 3-2 and then went 3-3.
You were 2-0 down,
Yeah,
went 3-2
down
ahead.
Time.
Then it went 3-3.
There was
You
serious
lost.
concerns about Alex Neil's future. I thought this could be the end.
Yeah. Before you managed to turn it round just before the international break with a 4-0 win against Wigan at home. Came back after the international break, away draw against Hull, home win against Brentford, a home draw against Rotherham, a little bit disappointing, away draw against Ipswich. Your annual 3 points at Ashton Gate against Bristol City, another 3 points at home against Blackburn, before a draw at home against Middlesbrough, but it's a lot better before you followed it up finally with a defeat into December. So you had a good October and November. Defeat 3-0 away against Birmingham in December, before following up with a good away win against Nottingham Forest. And then
that's another turning point. We've got a little bit of runs together, and then we've got
you had injuries, didn't you?
That's been a recurring theme ever since Neil's been here, the injuries, but we'll get to that later discussing the injuries.
You proper shithouse Nottingham Forest with a team that wasn't that strong, if I remember.
No, but it's a complete performance. It's absolutely top-notch, that performance.
You shithouse them properly, didn't you? Defensive football, tough to break down. You didn't look like you were going to concede at all, so you just...
Forest created nothing.
No. Oh, man.
But 1 away day it was, so.
It was a good away day. Anyway, 3-2 home win against Millwall, a 1-0 away loss against Sheffield Wednesday at Hillsborough, then a Boxing Day disappointment against Hull at home, disappointing 2-1 loss, 1-1 against Villa at home, followed by a 2-1 defeat, so a bad festive period there.
Bills lose to Rotherham, never do much against them. I'm glad they're gone. No offense to Rotherham, but you've just been a thorn all along.
Swansea
side.
Drew against Swansea. Things weren't going so well. The return of us then, wasn't it? QPR away, 4-1 win.
Then we went to Stoke.
2-0 away win again.
I think that's one of our most impressive performances of the season against Stoke. That's one of my favourite.
QPR were my favourite.
QPR.
Yeah. Long away day to London. Just give them a slap. Outplayed them, didn't you? Anyway, 0-0 against Derby. 2-1 away win against Bolton, a 3-1 good home win against Norwich as well, particularly as they've done well this season and gone up in first as well, weren't they?
Is it the last time Norwich lost in the league? I think it might be.
Don't
quote me on that, I might be wrong.
No. Anyway,
that's the type of recurring theme in Deep Down though. We like teams like Norwich that come at us.
0-0 at home against Nottingham Forest. A good away win in London again, 3-1 against Millwall, a 1-1 draw against Bristol City at Deepdale.
Disappointed. That's like to close the gap on the top six. I've never been disappointed.
Yeah, a 1-0 away win against Blackburn, and then a 2-1 away win against Middlesbrough. We just started to build a little bit of momentum. A 1-0 home win against Birmingham just before the international break, and so Preston were calling this point the run up towards the end. I was calling it the push for the playoffs.
I think we went 7th when we beat Rome. I think we went 7th.
And you had a huge week, so you lost 2-1 against
I know, come back from the international break, got a few injuries again, and it just goes out the window. 2-1 ready. And
so we had a question going. So you had a big week. It was Sheffield United and Leeds at home, and away match against West Brom. It was a match where you really needed 9 points.
Yeah, that determines the season whether we get playoffs or not.
And this pretty much summed up your season. Home match against Sheffield United, 1-0 loss.
Which they did to what we normally do to teams away from home.
Then 2-0. A 1-0 home loss against Sheffield United, a 2-0 home loss against
Ben Pearson
Leeds.
gets sent off, not for the first time this season.
And then a 4-1 away defeat against West Brom, as there was concerns that Alex Neil might actually leave to go to West Brom. You came back though, 4-0 win against Ipswich, followed by a disappointing 2-0 defeat against Wigan, and then that strange match with Sheffield Wednesday finishing 3-3 after being 2-0 up and 3-1 up.
Yep.
Should really picked up 3 points, and then a 3-0 loss against Brentford, last game of the season, and that takes you through the whole season. So I would say you showed signs of extreme inconsistency. You was either, for a long period of time, not very good. You turn it around, you have a run of fixtures.
Never get January. We've got some players like Brad Potts, who was a revelation as he started off well. Jaden Stockley, who highly rated as well at Preston. I think he deserves more starts.
Yeah. But yeah, I think you're extremely inconsistent, and that's why you're not heading towards the playoffs. I always get a sense of when a team's going to do well, and I'll be honest, I never really had that sense from Preston last season. throughout the whole of the season that you will go be up there for pushing for the playoffs.
It's a strange season, like from relegation battle to begin with. I mean, we all would have took it 21st after such a bad start. One win going into October.
I don't know what the one thing I always look for in football.
I think we have 5 points from 10 matches.
Yeah, one thing I always look for in football is I always look for progress, and you look for where progress has been made. And season upon season since Alex Neil took charge, you have made progress. And so last season is the first time you've not made any progress. In fact, factually in the league, they've got worse. And so, to me, if there's ever been a time for Preston to just look for a bit of quality in the transfer market, look for a bit of improvement and see what positions need a little bit more quality, which players need to go, and just not like do wholesale changes, but change just a couple of things up to try and push it back. Because I felt like when you ended that game against Burton Albion the season before and you just missed out on playoffs, you felt like you can get off to a strong start in the season.
And that's what made it so disappointing, the transfers.
You'd be able to push on and head for the playoffs, and instead, I'm not too sure. It's typical Preston, really. And we're going into next season. We'll assess, obviously, the transfer market, see who you sign and where you're at. Yeah. But again, I feel like it's just going to be, you're a team that's more than capable of competing towards the top end of the table, but just a run of fixtures, some injuries here and there, and all of a sudden you find yourself slipping down into mid-table, and then looking over your shoulder before you get a run of form again, and you stop thinking about relegation, you start thinking about playoffs, and just as you're getting on the grasp of playoffs,
every
time,
choke, every
and then
time.
Fall down. Yeah, it's like you didn't want 6th place.
That season before when it finished 7th, when it's that key match, like Derby County.
Yeah, and ultimately it tells.
Always chasing, we just can never do it.
Yeah. And to me, the reasoning for that is you need more quality.
I think we need more quality and experience in the Championship. I think it's time to turn up a notch.
Yeah.
But whether we can actually afford to pay that extra is a different kettle of fish.
You don't necessarily have to pay extra in terms of for a fee, because there's a lot of Championship
No, I mean, I'm talking
players.
wages, quality now. It's, I mean, what's maximum pay? Is it 12k?
I don't know. I'd be very surprised if there's lots of players at Preston that's on double figure.
Yeah, and 10k or more. There won't be many.
No. But
and I think it shows.
Yeah. You're a team that works hard.
Oh yeah, I can't question the work rate at Preston North End. It's up there, one of the highest in the division.
Yeah, I feel like we're just looking for a little bit more. We'll talk about transfers, because the biggest problem I've got with Preston's transfer policy, and I was very disappointed, not the fact that you sold Jordan Hugill in the middle of the season. You sold him on deadline day, didn't you?
Yes.
And it gives you very little time to then replace him. And in terms of investment into the squad, I was looking for, how much did you sell him for? Was it around?
We didn't get Jaden Stockley's January, so it took us nearly 12 months to get a replacement.
Yeah. But how much did you get from him? Was it £9-10 million? Something like that? Was it 9 million rising to like 11 million? Something like that? So
Yeah,
I can't remember the details.
But I know it's a very good deal from Preston.
It was a good deal, but you didn't have to give yourself enough time to be able to replace Jordan Hughes.
No, which made it really impressive that we actually put a run together in April, end of 2017-18 season, to actually get 7th.
It's just changing things up, isn't it? Different striker up there. You're not having to be a little bit more direct, you're having to pass it around a little bit more. It can work real well, but it kind of papered over cracks that there was a hole missing. And what I was disappointed most with is you've made a lot of money on Jordan Hugill, and I was looking for, I'm not asking for 10 million of that money to be invested, but you're looking for a little bit of that money to be invested.
Which we did in January, but why January? It should have been in that summer. It should have been pushing on.
When you wanted to push forward.
Which I think Alex Neil wanted to push on as well.
And we're in a different situation this season, because you always feel like Preston, no offence, but you're a selling club. For you to make, you always look to sign players like for cheap or for a small fee, produce them into good players, sell them on for quality and be able to make money. You did that with Jordan Hugill. There's other players at Preston North End that, in my opinion, if you want...
Cunningham was sold for 4 million.
There's another one in the summer.
Were made.
But you made... I can't really criticise the Cunningham transfer, because I was a bit iffy at the time.
I think it's on his last year's contract.
I was a bit iffy at the time, but you replaced him with Hughes, and Hughes...
He had a shaky start, he did.
Up until his injury, though, overall, he had a good
a shaky
season.
start then as soon as he got settled in. Yeah, it's been a good replacement. He's done well.
But it's important if you want to push for playoffs that you need to keep hold of your best players.
Yes, I do agree.
So we're talking Alan Brown had a good solid season. I've heard Premier League interest, Alan Brown.
This one made me laugh this morning. HITC again with Tottenham.
I saw that.
I saw that, man. I went, nah, I don't see it. Premier League, I see, but a Tottenham, no.
I'm not so sure.
I'm not
no,
sure.
Not Tottenham, but yeah, I can imagine Premier League. We got Callum Robinson's attracting interest.
Yes, I don't know
Again.
how true it is at Bournemouth like that.
Yeah.
But we've got to be looking at double figures. So.
There's interest there. It doesn't necessarily mean they're going to leave. Doesn't mean there's going to be bids or anything. It just means that these clubs have been scouting and will be looking at players. They'll be looking at loads of players, by the way. There's one thing I feel like this is one thing I do know quite a bit on. It's transfers. I've always been very keen on transfers. But when clubs want to sign players, there's a whole policy, and transfers take months where the scouts go and have a look at the player. They find out all the details on this player. Would it suit the systems? And first they've got to tick off all the boxes before they'll have like a list drawn up of players that they'll want to target. They'll have the primary targets that they want to go for, and then they'll obviously have backups. And you find out how good a club is in the transfer market by the fact if they've got backups or not. And with Callum Robinson, I imagine with the quality that he's got in there, if Premier League clubs start missing out on the top targets, and they want to go and dip into the transfer market for championship players, in terms of championship wingers, Callum Robinson would be an option. However, one of the biggest problems Preston's got with Callum Robinson now, he declared for Ireland, the Republic of Ireland, which means now he is no longer an English player. And you always feel like if an English player, you can inflate the value of that player. You could say, I value them at around £5 million. You say that they're English and all of a sudden they're not 5, it's now 10, 15, even £20 million. With Callum Robinson now, you probably can't do that as much. Because he's decided to... So Alan Brown's the exact same. To start thinking that you're going to get...
Brown is an actual Irishman.
He is Callum Robinson, I will add, is born in England, played for England's youth...
I think he's from Birmingham,
right through. He played for Aston Villa's youth academy. I'm not sure if he's from there or not. But he got an international call-up from Ireland for having... Was it grandparents were Irish?
Yes.
Meant he was eligible to play for Ireland, so he's declared for them. So, just my opinion, I feel like that's probably decreased his value just a little bit.
No, but you can't blame the lad. International.
I don't blame him at all.
No, so we can't put a price on that as an international football. I do expect 10 million or more for him.
For Callum Robinson.
Yeah,
how old is he now? He's not 25 yet, is he?
No, he's not 25.
But age is one of the biggest factors in the transfer market, and also your contract, how long he's got left to run on that contract. So Callum Robinson, we're always going to be looking, being an attacker, a winger that scores goals, you're going to want a lot of money. My opinion though, Preston want playoffs and they want to push forward.
24 years.
If they want to push forward, Callum Robinson, Alan Brown, they need to be kept hold of.
Yeah, I don't know, they both first scored double figures.
We'll get to the talking point now of Ben Pearson. I want to be a little bit... I like to change things up and get people talking. Ben Pearson... I like Ben Pearson. I think he's a wonderful defensive midfielder, a holding midfielder. He's very aggressive. If there's anyone watching this that's never watched Ben Pearson play, he's probably one of the most aggressive football players that I've seen in recent modern football. He's extremely aggressive. He loves a slide tackle. He loves arguing. He loves getting in people's face. He likes to be the match villain.
Yeah, he likes to rile you up.
Yeah, he'll rile you up, wants to get you into a bad mood. But he's one of them players that you just love, basically, when he plays for you. When he doesn't, you don't.
Hate him.
And so with Ben Pearson, he comes with yellow cards. Does. You wait for it. Every time Preston play, I wait for Preston to tweet, Ben Pearson has been booked. And you always see the comment, water is wet. You get it with Darnell Fisher too, but Ben Pearson, I'm just making the point for the transfer market. Because Ben Pearson is a young English player. He's come from, was it Manchester United's youth academy. He's gone and played at the top level of the Championship, and he is a very good footballer. And should any of the, in particular, I'd say newly promoted teams to the Premier League, if they wanted a defensive midfielder, wanted someone with a bit of bite, someone with a bit of aggression in the middle to be able to cope with the physicality of the Premier League, Ben Pearson would be an option. And so I'm going to put the question right out to you. Someone comes in with a reasonable offer. Do you keep hold of Ben Pearson or sell?
That was a reasonable bid.
Defend 5 million.
Not good enough.
How much would you want? 10?
Close to that.
Close to that, 8 to 10 million pound we're probably looking at for Ben Pearson. I asked that because, like I said, I like to have talking points in the video. Ben Pearson, to me, he's aggressive, but he comes across as being too aggressive, and he doesn't.
Yeah, because he's going to miss 10 to 15 games a season.
Yeah, has he had an anger management course yet for having 15 yellow cards in a season?
I don't know.
15 yellow, it's amazing. So you get 1 suspension for 5 yellow cards before a certain deadline. Ben Pearson will meet that deadline.
Yeah.
And then he'll meet the 10 yellow cards, 2-match suspension, and the 15 for 3 matches. So you realistically, with Ben Pearson, you're looking at 6 games out of 46.
And that's without straight red cards.
It's gone to a point where I'm asking, can you rely on him? And what I'm saying is, if someone comes in with a good bid, would you not be thinking, actually, we've got a chance here to be able to make money? I would say don't sell him unless they're going to sell him and use that money to invest in the team, if you get where I'm coming from.
Yeah, I'm not too sure Ryan Ledson's ready yet.
Well, when I've watched Ryan Ledson,
He must be the exact same.
He's come across as extremely aggressive too. But with Ryan Ledson, there's a little bit of like roughness in his game. Not roughness as in he wants to rough the players up, but roughness from he hasn't played lots and lots of games. So he's sending off. Some of them have been stupid ones that you just shouldn't be happening. High foot, sliding into the challenge with your studs up, things that you wouldn't expect a natural ball-to-ball winning midfielder to be doing. You'd expect them to be able to perfect the game, if you get where I'm coming from. And so it's one of those that if you used to give him maybe a full season, he might be able to iron it out of his game. Do you have a full season for what Preston want to achieve? Are they really knocking on the Premier League? Well, it wouldn't surprise me if you went into League 1 or League 2, signed another midfielder if you sold Ben Pearson, and used Ryan Ledson as the new Ben Pearson, is probably what would happen.
Another rough
and so what I'm making the point of here with the transfer markets is that there's a conveyor belt going on at Preston. You make players good, you sell them players, you sign younger players, you make them good, promote them, sell them, next one, next one, next one. And that's what's going on. And what I'm saying is, if Preston want to get into the playoffs, instead of selling these players, you need to be able to keep hold of these players. You need a good squad around you. And what you're looking for is to keep hold of these players, bit of investment in the team, see where you go from there and see what you're working with. Because
one thing I would like to say Preston is a long-term replacement for Paul Gallagher. We have no one like him at the club.
Yeah.
That playmaker.
Right, we'll talk about that. And so they're the main players I think that have really got any sell-on value at Preston. Any
key players for selling, probably Ben Davis.
Ben Davis,
the most experience that could sell on is.
I don't think there's a lot of money to be made on Ben Davis. I don't see what Ben Davis had achieved by leaving Preston. I don't imagine there's going to be lots of Premier League interest. And Preston, I don't think will sell to another Championship club. It'd be interesting if a Championship club came in with a lot of money for their players, but I don't think they would. I mean, it takes Premier League money to be able to come in with that kind of bid, but it'd be interesting if teams were getting relegated that have still got the Premier League money might come in for the players. It's just, I imagine they'll probably look elsewhere.
One thing about our defence is, at the minute, with where it ended on with Fisher, Story, Davis and...
Because of Hughes injured, it was Earl.
Because it lacks height apart from Earl, who's 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah. Do you think Earl could be used as a centre-back?
I've seen that discussion before. It's a useful one. Yeah, I think it could be.
Left-hand side of centre-back, a bit of height in there. Yeah. That'd be a useful option. I don't know. We were speaking about this before we started the video.
Ben Davis was a left-back to begin with.
He was, I remember. I remember. He went on loads. Did he go to Fleetwood?
He did, and that made him. That's why I'd like to see with Earl, to have that confidence.
I feel like Earl,
good long-year loan.
League One.
Yeah.
See how he does in League One. And... in Preston, I know
I think he needs that confidence.
You'll look for permanent transfers, and this is a bugbear of mine, is there's a beautiful loan market out there for you to go and sign players, for you to find out if these players are good enough or not, and I feel like you should utilise it a little bit more.
Do you think Dimitri will come back to Preston?
No.
I'll ask you as a Man City fan, yeah.
No, we're done. Okay, end of discussion. He won't be joining Preston North End.
Where's he going?
He's wanted in Germany. We're talking £7 million. Preston don't spend £7 million on players. I say that with £7 million without having done any research, and you'll be thinking, what's he thinking? I'm just going off market trends at Man City. A player called Rabbi Matondo went for £6 million to Schalke. That's the level you're looking at. He's a player that's never played for Man City in his life. He's never played any championship football, been out on loan, just been scouted, got a call up for Wales, done a couple of games for Wales, played alright. £6 million. Add-ons was looking at around £10 million. Yeah. Lucas Nemitra's got a season's worth of championship under him. Recently declared to play for German under-21 team. There's interest from Germany, and Man City will feel like they could get the fee down a little bit. So we'll be looking at around £5 to £7 million. They'll put a sell-on fee on top of that, and they'll also want add-ons on top of that. I've seen it with Jadon Sancho, I've seen it with Rabbi Matondo, and I'm fairly confident Lucas Nemitra will do the same. If he doesn't go to Germany, he might be made available for loan again. However, I'm probably fairly confident that City are very good at being able to sell the youngsters. And so, if you want a permanent transfer, you have to match what the German clubs can pay. And I am talking like the likes of Schalke. I'm talking possibly even clubs, Hamburg, Stuttgart, teams like that. These are teams that aren't doing too well, by the way, in Germany, but they are big, prestigious clubs that do have a little bit of money, that do like signing young players. In particular, their hobby is signing German players. And with him declaring for Germany, I imagine him going to Germany.
Yeah, so they're homegrown now.
Yes. And I think a German move, Lucas Nemitra, would suit him very well. I feel like the German league would probably suit him more than what the Championship would. I feel like Lucas Nemitra would want to be able to play in his most natural position. I know a lot of fans were complimenting him on playing out wide, and good for him. He's a striker. He puts the ball in the net. He'll want to play as a striker, and so give him a couple of seasons in Germany and see where he goes from there. I'm fairly sure that's where he'll go. So
yeah, I'd compete with that.
Alex Neil's already said.
Which means, yeah, we need transfer targets now to replace him and Barker.
Yeah, we didn't. I don't know about Barker.
I don't think we really need a replacement.
I don't know about Barker.
It all depends on Robin. I'm trying to think who we've got on left wing.
Robinson.
No, when you remove Robinson.
Can Billy Bowden not play there? It's just
yeah, nobody likes the right wing when Barker's in there, but he's an inside forward. Potts can play out there, so can Gallagher if we really wanted to. So we've got Guinea. I think he's supposed to be like the long-term replacement.
Yeah, I don't know.
Another young player that we signed from Walsall.
I don't know. Right, we'll go through Preston's transfer.
Yeah, I think we'll go through
first and foremost. The biggest talking point we've got, the early flickering of birds in the transfer market from Preston's goalkeeper. I presume that Rudd will be staying at Preston. It means every single other goalkeeper might well be up for debate. So Maxwell's been out on loan at Charlton. Preston will look to try and sell him.
Yeah.
Obviously this summer. Whether they do sell him or not is another matter. We're looking at Crow. Is it Crow?
Less said better.
Did he play like one FA Cup game?
Yeah, against Donny.
Against Doncaster Rovers of League One. And,
like I said, less said better about that match. And then we've got January replacement. We saw him signing from Borough, I think, Ripley. Does he play for Aki?
Is Ripley going to be a second choice?
Yes. Competing with Rudd.
So you don't
I said, it's hard to see where a goalkeeper comes in. We've got so many goalkeepers.
And you got Hudson too.
And Hudson, the fifth one.
And Hudson, to me, has never been given a chance at PNE. Why he's not gone out on loan already, I'm not too sure. But he needs a good... No, I mean a full season-long loan.
Yeah, I know he
does.
A
full season-long settling loan, so he knows where he stands for the whole season. And I feel like he needs a good loan to see how good he is. I imagine there's a whole conveyor belt of goalkeepers.
Crow just him stay and get rid.
So we're left with two goalkeepers, if that's the case. If Maxwell ends up leaving, Hudson goes out on loan, and Crow you just want to be rid of. Leaves you with two goalkeepers.
Or if they do keep Rowe, they'll have three goalkeepers, Preston.
Yeah. So Preston recently been linked with Aro Muric in net. The biggest problem I've got with Aro Muric, I do know quite a bit about him. Tall goalkeeper, 6'5", is a very physical goalkeeper. A decent shot stopper for someone of that height. A very commanding goalkeeper. You'd think he'd be good in the air. He's very good with his feet too. He's a good passer of the ball. The modern style of football that you'd expect from a goalkeeper. Obviously the high standards of the Premier League have been set by Edison and Alisson that I think a lot of clubs now come to expect to see their goalkeepers be able to play like that. And Aro Muric is a good, like, rough diamond that could be able to used in that situation. Problem Preston's got with competing with Aro Muric is, I imagine Man City would probably be looking for the promise of first team football. Is he better than Declan Rudd? I don't know. I really do not know. I don't know. Muric could be head and shoulders above him, not just in height.
But it'd be interesting if we do sign him on loan.
It would be interesting. It would be interesting.
Rodolph or someone of loans.
I imagine you might use Ripley possibly as a third choice goalkeeper. And then I really don't know. It's a strange situation, but all I think of is
to
that
me, it shows me Alex Neil's not happy with the goalkeepers if we do go for him.
Yeah.
He's not happy.
I have my doubts there because to me he's just not needed. Unless Declan Rudd or someone leaves, then obviously you're getting rid of goalkeepers, then you're going to need a new goalkeeper. But Muric, I'm not too sure if he's the answer. He's a cheaper option, obviously on loan, since he won't sell him.
That's served as well in the past of going on loans, like Jordan Pickford, who have done well for his career.
Don't forget Sam Johnson.
Yeah, doing well.
Yeah.
Declan Rudd himself.
Yeah, so it's an option, possibly an option. Probably got with Muric. I think there's interest coming in from the Netherlands with him, and you've also got serious interest from Bristol City. Bristol City obviously have just released Frank Fielding, their goalkeeper, and so that's where the interest is coming from. And in terms of Man City, they've also got another goalkeeper coming in from the United States of America, one of the most promising upcoming young players from over there. And they have talked about a loan move, but that's not with Preston. He again's been linked with Bristol City, and so we don't really need to mention more of that. But all it does suggest to me is that Muric might well be available for loan. Preston are linked. Now for the defence, I want a bit of height in that centre back. I like Jordan's story. I do like Ben Davies too. I've watched them play numerous times last season, worked well together. Towards the end there, you felt like he was just lacking just that physical presence.
As well, I think he lacks as well.
Do you remember how good Paul Huntington was in that final League One season for Preston? How much of a difference Paul Huntington made that season? He got his nickname the Cumbrian Cannavaro for that season. He was a solid player, a solid addition, and unfortunately players get older and he's kind of falling down the pecking order, Paul Huntington, and so Preston's looking for the next player. And so you need him, for me, another...
Like Tom Clark's getting on as well.
Yeah, these are players that have obviously earned their way at Preston North End and deserve to stay at Preston North End for as long as possible. Just looking for a little bit more height and physicality. Yeah. See, you've been linked recently with some Oldham centre-back. I don't know if he was tall and commanding or not, but...
Nigel Edmondson is called.
I don't know a lot about him. I'm just...
He's a young player.
Throwing out some players that you've been linked with. I don't know if he's the answer or not, but to me, Preston should be looking for a little bit of championship quality. This is a perfect time now to go and dip into the market and have a look for some proven championship players.
Our players that are like youth and now they're experienced players.
For some reason, Preston's squad's ginormous. And
I think it's because we don't have an under-23 side, so we try and make all with injuries, so we've got about...
You go through that many injuries, it's unreal, so you have a larger squad, but this would be a perfect time with a larger squad to use younger players, but... You do see some younger players, but you tend to buy younger players instead and just leave them in there to then come in and see how good they are and they play 1 or 2 games like that. I mean, he was recently linked with, was it Connolly of Bolton too, another young player, 18 years old. It's just signed a new deal.
Connell,
is it Connell?
Yeah.
I can't remember. The policy, younger players you tend to go for.
Yeah.
So,
plus he's Irish as well, Luke Connell.
Is he? I think the biggest problem I've got though is that
it's very young.
It's inexperience.
Yeah,
it's the problem that I've got, and it'll take years. I mean, you're looking at minimum 2 years when you're wanting to achieve promotion and progress season upon season and wanting to get into the playoffs. You don't really have 2 years. What you're looking for, you've got 2 ways you can go about it. You can either dip in the free transfer market and sign some proven experienced players. You must be looking at players that are probably 27 to around 32 years old. So players that are getting towards the end of their career that's not got much market value for you to be made. So you won't make much money on these players. But you will have proven championship experience. Or you could go down another route, which is to sign younger players, but they'll cost more. So I'm talking proven championship players that are aged around 20 to about 27, that will have market value, but you'll have to pay a lot of money for these players. And so that's kind of a no-go for Preston.
It is, because they're not going to pay it.
But I've seen other clubs do this. I've seen Huddersfield do this well, and I've seen Norwich do this well. They've dipped into the foreign market, something Preston... haven't done.
History.
The only time you've gone foreign is when you've gone across the Irish Sea to Ireland, which I think nicely now brings us on to a big talking point with Preston, which is Irish players. So we've got Alan Brown, wonderful success story, young player, great championship player, and Preston need to keep hold of him. So big success story from Alan Brown. It took a couple of years for him again.
It did. So I think
to get to that level. Yeah, to get to that level. But he's there now, and there's a lot of sell-on value on him. But Preston need to keep hold of him because he's a very good player. We're then talking, you brought players like Darryl Horgan over, and with Darryl Horgan, I think the transfer came with an Andy Boyle.
Yeah.
Yes. So Darryl Horgan was an inside forward, a winger who you ended up eventually selling to somewhere in the Hibernian Hibs over in the SPFL. So he's gone over up the border to Scotland. I don't know how he's done up in Scotland.
I think he's done alright with Hibs.
But he was a good player, wasn't he? He was a good player. Yeah. Some games suited him in the Championship. I remember a away match against Burton, he came off the bench, ripped them to shreds. And then there was other games where he was quite ineffective and quite ghost-like. But I can accuse a few players. I've seen Barkhusen do that a lot for Preston. Some games suit him, some games don't. Sometimes you see him, sometimes you don't. It's a typical
I think our style suits Barkhusen away from home, especially like that.
Yeah.
Well, but I think of this world Barkhusen is the amount of assists.
I think Barkhusen's not got much competition for his plays to try and up his game. With the injury to Billy Bowden, he's not really had. He's only had Brad Potts competing with him. And that was from January.
Brad Potts took his place as well.
Yeah. So do you feel like Brad Potts and Callum Robinson would work well on the wings?
Possibly, but I'd like to see Brad Potts in his natural position, which is central to attacking mid.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of like the Josh Harrop role. Isn't it?
Josh Harrop, yeah, I forgot all about him. Yeah, he's back, isn't he, from his injury? Yeah.
He's a forgotten man. I like the Josh Harrop transfer. The transfer's not really worked for Preston, but Josh Harrop, signing from Manchester United Youth Academy like they did with Ben Pearson, is a player that had all the attributes there where if he had a couple of good seasons, huge sell-on value, and he's the type of player to make a difference in any game. He's one of them players. But unfortunately with injuries, it's kind of hampered his seasons, and he's struggled to get into the team and struggled to really kick off and get going with Preston. He's also an attacking midfielder that likes to play behind the striker, a role that Alan Brown kind of taken over now.
Yeah, he's adopted it and done alright.
Yeah, and so
in with the goals, 12 I think he got.
But that's the kind of thing you look for. Young Premier League youngsters that want to leave these big clubs and go and make a name for themselves, drop down to the Championship. They've got a lot to prove, and a couple of good players there. And it's a worthy risk. It's a less risky strategy than your Irish transfers. Andy Boyle, has he left? Has he finally left? Has he left permanently?
He's finally left.
Never really worked for Preston, did it, Andy Boyle? No. Bringing him over. You brought over Sean Maguire too, who is he Irish?
Yes.
Yes, he come from West Ham's Youth Academy. Before heading over to, was he West Ham's Youth Academy? Someone's Youth Academy. I remember him playing for West Ham. He definitely did. Went over to Ireland, scored a lot of goals and came over to Preston. And Sean Maguire, again, another player that's kind of been hampered by injuries over the last season or so.
And then we signed him.
Yeah. He's a good finisher with it.
Oh, that reminds. We signed another one with Maguire. O'Connor, the left back. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got a Boyle and an O'Connor, and with it you've got...
Why do we always get these extra players? Like
I don't want to call Sean Maguire hit and miss like Darryl Horgan, because I think Sean Maguire, once he gets a run of games and gets going,
I think he's a good goal
scorer. He does have the ability to score goals and be a good player. It just takes time, and it's a crucial issue here.
Like, especially this season, it's just not going to his stride at all when he came back.
No, and I felt Preston...
Well, if a strong pre-season, he'll get his form back.
Yeah, he's one of those that you give him a run of games. So give him 5 or 6 games pre-season. Say if he scores 4 or 5 goals, you'd be in good stead then. Probably you got it.
For him is stay injury-free.
I was just about to
say. So no, he's very worried with his hamstring.
But the thing is, if a player's so injury-prone, surely he should be training less. He wasn't
injury-prone until he came to Preston.
He's injury-prone now.
I don't know, it's our training that we do.
Well, that's what I was just about to say. If he's injury prone like that and he's struggling with training and picking up injuries in training, surely he should be training less and playing less. So let's say Sean Maguire plays a game on a Saturday and you've got a game on a Tuesday. Surely it'd make sense for Sean Maguire to play one of the two and then use squad rotation, because then that means we'd be seeing more of players like Jayden Stockley, who should be, in my opinion, playing a lot more for Preston, because I've seen him come on a couple of times off the substitute bench. All of a sudden you change up your style of play, and it causes a different problem for teams, doesn't it? A lot more physical, a lot more aggressive. He's also a good finisher of the ball. He's obviously had a good season in League Two when you signed him.
Yeah, scored 16 goals and he scored 4 for Preston, so 20 goals.
Yeah, 20 goals for the season, a good return, and he's a player that I'd like to see a little bit more of. He reminds me a little bit of Jordan Hugill, and we saw how good Jordan Hugill was when he got given a run of games, didn't we? Yeah. He's a good goal scorer, so I'd like to see more of Jayden Stockley. Problem we got with Jayden Stockley, again, if he gets injured, where do you go from there? You've got Sean Maguire, but he's not.
Change it up again.
Do you know what I mean?
Then that leaves us with Louis Moult.
I think Louis Moult's a good player. Now that Lucas Nemich's not around, it gives Louis Moult more of an option. Louis Moult's more of an impact player, and so he worked well. Unlike Jayden Stockley.
To me, I don't think it's our system. I think we should cash in this summer.
If you can get money for him, then I'd probably agree. But
Probably getting linked with Luton and that.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, that makes sense. Luton just been promoted to the Championship. He's a physical player. He's not a bad goal scorer either.
No, if you can get work here, it's more of a poacher like that.
Yeah, he's not a bad player at all. It's just I
just don't think he's strong enough.
All round gameplay from an attacker. You're wanting a little bit more. And has Callum Robinson ever played up front?
That's better than Grayson days, though.
Yeah, has it never been experimented? Preston never experimented if you've gone with a 5-man midfield, ever contemplated going with a 6-man midfield? Playing with no forward?
I don't know.
Do you reckon everyone's going, what on earth is he on about? But what I'm on about is that when you play with a quick player up front, the player can drop deep, and when a player drops deep that's quick up front, it allows the the players out on the wings to cut forward, and it also allows players like Potts and Brown to then take over and go in ahead of the striker as you drop deep.
It's someone might work in Barkhuizen. He's a striker as well. If he wanted, well, he started off like that, banding goals for Preston when we first signed him, playing up front. I think scored 6 goals.
It can work, and all I'm saying is Callum Robinson's a type of player that can cause a lot of defenders a lot of problems with his pace and skill. Obviously, he's settling down a lot. He was a rough diamond when you first brought him in.
He certainly split opinion to begin with.
But as he's got better season upon season, and what I'm saying is Callum Robinson's the type of player that can cause defenders a huge headache. And with it, if he was to play, what I'm saying, forward, it'd draw in the defenders and allow space then for other players that want to get forward, the Potts, the Alan Browns, the Barkhusens. Whereas when you've got just a player that you've put up forward like Sean Maguire, who likes to stay forward, and you've got Stockley that wants the ball to be put to him, what I'm saying is dropping deep, it might offer a little bit more of an alternative.
Well, that's what I want man to see more at Deepdale play 2 up front. It's we won 7 games at home.
Yeah,
7.
Big problem that. And so I don't know. I feel like overall, Preston's squad depth's good, but your players that you've got are all of equal calibre. You get where I'm coming from in position.
Yeah, our replacements are like for like, and the same.
Everything's very like for like at Preston. But it's gotten to a point where Barkhuizen has an injury. You know Potts is going to go out on the right. Callum Robinson picks up an injury. You know then you might see Potts on the left. You know where certainly last season you might have seen other players drifting out to the left, like you said, Paul Gallagher. You saw Lucas Nemicha drifting out wide too, didn't you? Using him on the wing as well.
Yeah.
And so
I think you can play Barkhuizen on the left as well.
Yeah, and so to me,
one thing we don't have is out and out left winger like that.
Yeah, and all I'm thinking is, I feel like you need a winger. No offence to Billy Bowden, but Billy Bowden's been injury prone, and Billy Bowden is a very good League One player. I just have my doubts. He reminds me a little bit of the Burke that you signed. Did he come from Ireland too? Yeah. He reminds me a little bit of him. Where
Which brings me onto that. We're getting with Ireland again. Some kid.
Have you, club, ever heard of there's more countries out there other than
I wouldn't mind us seeing it. I wouldn't mind it. Or try and scout a bit further.
Yes, yeah. I mean, where did Norwich pick up Pukki from? Was it Germany?
Either Germany or I know he's Finnish.
They picked up from somewhere around this Central Europe
They've got a lot
area.
of all the players in there, enough foreign players, aren't there? Norwich as well, no, they picked up.
Yeah.
Because got a German
It's
manager.
a worthy risk, my opinion.
Well, they've got a German manager, that's why I said about Norwich.
Look how well it worked with Huddersfield too.
German manager, yeah.
They weren't a huge club or anything, they just had a little bit of ambition, tried their best, they managed to bring in one player on loan from the Premier League, brought in
Moy. Germans on loan as well.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, boom, there you go, 4th place finish. So it's not rocket science, it isn't it's not impossible or anything, it's not an impossible dream, you're just looking for a little bit of ambition. I feel like you're 4 or 5 players away, good quality players away, and you'll have a serious push towards them playoffs and trying to stay there consistently. So I feel like you need a taller potential centre back.
Yeah.
Left back is if Earl leaves, you might want to look at possibly signing a left back
cover, yeah.
For cover. I mean, you don't have to dip. I mean, that could again, that could just be brought in on loan. You don't have to spend money on that. Right back,
I'd like an improvement on Fisher.
I like Fisher. I feel like he had a better season the season previous to the one that he had last season, and so you're not wanting him. He's like to get worse from what he did last season.
I don't think Rafferty is the answer for
pointless
Fisher.
Signings.
Yeah, just covering it. I don't think he's strong enough to get him on the side.
He stinks of going out on loan somewhere, probably in January rather than doing it in the summer too. But you want a little bit more cover at centre back, so we might be looking at a right back, possibly a left back. I mean, certainly one of the most important positions. Preston say they're waiting to sell players first before they sign players, but one of the biggest holes they've got is Paul Gallagher. Paul Gallagher has an injury. All of a sudden, your team looks so much worse, in my opinion. There's just nothing there.
There's no creation.
From creativity in the middle, is there? You got hard work, but you wanted a little bit of quality.
Yeah, it's a lot of
skill.
defences.
Yeah. That playmaker that you're looking for in the middle that can make the difference is what you're looking for. You want a good passer of the ball and a player that's good.
Replacement. That's the only one we don't have one.
It's concerning. I mean, you got Daniel Johnson.
Far too inconsistent, and personally,
It's good squad rotation.
Yeah, that's about it.
But yeah,
Do you think it's first team player at Preston? No.
Not anymore. I mean,
No.
you look at the
I don't think it's
strongest
good
midfield to me. The midfield would consist
Oh, the
of
centre, the three.
Ben Pearson, Paul Gallagher sitting in a deeper role, and probably Alan Brown playing further ahead. And should Gallagher want to go forward, then Brown will have to sit back a little bit more, like that. That to me is Preston's strongest midfield.
Yeah,
take out Gallagher and you've got Daniel Johnson. Daniel Johnson to me isn't near Paul Gallagher's quality, and so Preston need to be looking for that little bit more, and possibly an attacker too. So like I said, 4 or 5 players, possibly a goalkeeper if rumours are to be believed too. But they're not far away. I feel like if you have a good summer and address the right issues and sign the right players that's right for the team, you get rid of the right players too. So we're talking a lot of the fringe players, the players that don't really feature for Preston that probably need to leave. You know, first team football, drop down a division or two and see where they go from there.
Yeah, like Graham Burke.
Yeah, there's one.
Again, go. Connor Simpson, the forgotten man.
Connor Simpson. Signed it, was it Morecambe?
Hartlepool.
Hartlepool to keep them afloat, wasn't it?
Yeah, before we could poach like a young player.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
Well, not seeing anything to say he's ready for near our first team yet.
No. Is anything else to add for the transfers? I don't think there's a lot. But we have to wait. It's one of those. We have to wait and see.
Yeah, it's got such a large squad to
see who you sign and where you go from there. And I think we'll get a good idea of your ambitions.
I mean, we could talk about transfer targets, specifically any realistic ones amongst ourselves that improve the team.
I mean, you could have a look at the free transfer market and see what players are going here, there and everywhere. But all I feel with Preston is if Preston don't get in there quick enough, other teams will, and other teams will probably be willing to pay more money. And so for Preston, I don't know, it's difficult. It has to be a careful strategy for Preston, and you're always looking for it to be quick, and it sounds like you're not going to be quick.
That's what I heard.
So you'll miss out on good quality.
Mind the Wigan. I don't know if he still plays for Wigan or Sam Morsey.
I've heard Morsey's off somewhere else in the Championship though.
So he will be a good player for Preston. No, if we actually want to sell Pearson like life, want to get a like for like.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
Not that we really need Morsey. Well, we've got Pearson.
You want Nugent back? He's a free agent as of, after that match against.
Oh, and it's Friday today. Nugent
Villa.
have been spotted deep down.
I don't know, but yeah, that's the transfer talk. Quickly, we'll talk about other topics that's come out recently. Season ticket prices, keeping things near frozen season ticket prices near enough. They're the same price and everything. You wanted to pick up a season ticket, it's Alan Kelly, Town End, the cheapest one, so £400 you're looking for. In terms of match day prices, is it the same price again?
27 first or something in Invincibles.
Yeah, I mean, what Preston's done, and it's odd, because they've started charging more if you want. Is it a paper ticket? They're going to charge more. Is it 26? 26.
Yeah,
so they're charging more. And so what they're saying is everyone get yourself a members card, which you can do. Is it with the season tickets as well? You can order your members card. So if you're not a season ticket holder, get yourself a members card. I've got a members card, you've got a members card. The ticket will be uploaded onto the card. You just put it into the reader, just tap and go. You know, like a contactless payment card. In you go, done. Like that. And so that means you're going to go paperless, you're not going to have a paper ticket, and the reason for this, you have to pay more for your paper ticket, is so they can charge away fans more money. So they're charging them 26 rather than 24 because they're not going to have a PNE members card, they're an away fan. So it's an idea for them to then charge them more money, because some fans are upset about how much they get charged being an away fan. We know all about it.
But do you think it's right or wrong that we've done more?
I personally think the away fans should have been moved to the Town End, you know, the big gap next to the cop. There's always like a big empty gap there with not many people there, so I'd probably flirt with the idea of moving them there to charge 27, like that. Because then it opens up both
policing.
I'm just saying, it feel like it just opens up both ends. I know it's easier for the coaches and everything, but I just feel like it's easier. It helped create more atmosphere at Deepdale, particularly if it had a higher attendance. But being able to do that, you're probably going to need the team to be doing very well, unfortunately. I mean, ticket prices have been spoken about, and I would like to see at least a couple of matches where you'd charge cheaper prices. I mean, we went to a game against Hull, where the ticket, how much was the ticket? Was it
Hull?
Hull away.
Alright,
was it £12 it cost us? £12 was an adult, £12 it cost us for an away ticket.
Yeah, because categorised, didn't it?
Yeah. I'm not too sure if I'd categorise matches or not.
This one's quite cheap as well.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like Preston could maybe just do. They used to do it in the past. I mean, we went to a match against Swansea on your birthday. That was a cheap day. That was a targeted day, like a family day.
No, it wasn't.
Was it not the Swansea? Which game was it that you targeted?
Norwich.
Was it Norwich? It was a fiver.
Yeah.
Just want to see just a couple of them, basically, just to see what happens. If you could mix it in with Preston doing well, you'd end up with a big attendance.
To be fair to the club, though, I think they've tried and they got knocked on the head by the owner.
Trevor Hemmings, yeah. I'm just saying, like, I'd keep asking and putting it forward to try and get it done. But ultimately, I don't think much can be done about the ticket issues and selling out Deepdale and getting more bums on seats and everything, because ultimately I feel like it comes down to how well your team's doing, and naturally, as you get towards the end of the season, if your team's doing well, if your team's doing well, you'll get more people in, and if you're not, then you won't. Like that. That's the situation. So I don't know. I'm a big campaigner of the 20s plenty, so I just like to, in general, just see price just come down a bit. I mean, I understand the club has to make money, and I don't think Preston, all in all, is the most expensive place. £24 for a ticket, certainly cheaper than Premier League football. Certainly, I mean, other clubs that named we won't drop, but particularly in Yorkshire, a couple of clubs that do charge more than what Premier League tend to charge, which isn't on, and both of them clubs, ironically, aren't going into the Premier League again.
I know, so a specific team.
There's two of them. There's two of them.
There's a specific one in there.
Yeah. There's a specific one that charge more than anywhere. They're actually the most expensive away ticket in the whole country, because Premier League's obviously got a cap on it of £30. So yeah, I don't think too much can be done for the ticketing things. And like I said, I think demand will come. I mean, Preston did make it cheaper than Happy Days. I mean, they just introduced a new category. Is it under 24s? Yeah. Or 18 to 24, is it? Yeah. The new category, £15 a ticket. So I'm in my last season of falling under that before I turn into an official old shit. So yeah, a little bit cheaper for me. So it's gone back to the student prices days, which is £15. Yeah. So yeah, it's not terrible pricing in my opinion. So yeah. So we'll talk about hopes for the season. I mean, realistically, we have to see the transfer market, but obviously, first things first, don't want to be too negative, but you want to avoid relegation. You don't want to be heading back to League One again.
No, that squad should be good enough for mid-table again, but I've got hopes of the top 6.
No hope. That's always what you're looking for.
And that has to be an ambition move.
Always top 6. I mean, that 6th place is always near enough up for grabs. There's always a battle for that 6th place. So you're always looking that if Preston could just show a little bit more consistency and get off to a good start, there's no reason why they can't be in and around that, like they were in the previous season. Get off to a good start and see where you go from there. That is the key here. Good transfer market, good start to the season, build on it and go from there, in my opinion. I mean, realistically, I'd be looking for progress. I'd be looking again to try and knock on the doors of the playoffs and thinking top half, even top 10 is what I'd be looking for, to try and build on that, because obviously you've not built from last season, so you're having to rebuild it again, and football's always about progress and small steps. I mean, you don't want to run before you can walk. I mean, the last thing you want to do, I mean, I know everyone wants Preston to get to the Premier League, but you don't want to get to the Premier League and feel like you're the team that shouldn't be in the Premier League, and you end up with that gulf difference where you end up finishing miles at bottom and on record points tally of not picking up any points and it being all bad. I mean, you don't want that. You want to be promoted, but you want to feel like the team are ready for the Premier League. I mean, it's interesting because Sheffield United and Norwich, are they going to get promoted? Are they going to stay in the Premier League? It's a difficult ask, isn't it?
Yeah, and that leaves you with the playoff final between
Aston Villa and Derby. I mean, Derby County's another one that falls into that category. Are they going to stay in the Premier League? I'm not too sure.
They should be deducted points.
Wow, oh, that's controversial. That's another video. We'll swerve away from Derby County. Personally, I think Villa will win that one on Monday. Anyway,
yeah,
I think Villa are a solid team,
well, Villa.
but they've taken risks. Villa. When's the parachute payments done for them?
It's the 3rd year in Championship, so they've got one more time.
They've got one more, yeah. So yeah, I think I'd be ecstatic if you got into the playoffs. I think that'd be a great adventure.
I think all fans would.
That'd be brilliant, wouldn't it?
Because they've not had a playoff campaign since 2009 in Championship.
Yeah.
Since Alan Irvine.
That'd be brilliant. Super jealous. Wembley Day, isn't it? And so that's always what you're looking for. Automatics. Probably a bit beyond, if I'm honest. I mean, who's coming down from the Premier League?
Who would have thought Sheffield United could do that? I mean, they don't have great quality in theirs, but they've done it hard work, got some good signings in, and
it is doable. I mean, Cardiff City's coming down. They're a strong defensive side.
Spent wisely, though.
Is Neil Warnock? I think Neil Warnock's staying, isn't he? Cardiff. You got Huddersfield that's come down, and a team I think that will probably get promoted next season will be Fulham. Should they get off to a good start? I'm not too sure Scott Parker was the answer for them, but there we go.
I'm not too sure about the squad.
Now on to our final topic for the video. We're going to be talking about away days and our potential away days for me and you. So you look out on the JSGC channel, you'll see we've done plenty of PNE away days. We've got a playlist up already with football away vlogs if you want to go and check that out after you've watched this if you wish, because we enjoy doing our away days and we're going to be doing some more next season. We're up to 24, is it, overall with Preston now since 2013.
Yeah.
We did 5 last season, so we're targeting doing a few more this season. Already drawn up the list of potential away days that we're looking at. Number 1 top priority, we're looking at Luton Town, aren't we? So hopefully we'll be able to get to Luton Town should it fall obviously on a weekend that isn't on a cup date, so FA Cup, and hopefully be able to get some good prices with trains and everything, and we'll be able to get to Luton. Weird, I've heard some stories about that, bit of a weird stand that you got to go in through the through a house.
Yeah.
It's pretty odd, and obviously they're leaving their home very soon. I think it's the next couple of years.
Yeah, so when Brentford out.
So I want to see that hopefully before it goes. So that is top of the priority. We've got the John Smith Stadium. I was going to call it the Gal Farm John Smith Stadium. Huddersfield away, I think, could be a good away day. I mean, if we've done an away day, if we're not headed to Yorkshire. We normally head to Yorkshire.
Not many happy days in Yorkshire, just Bradford, I think.
Yeah, we've got Barnsley's been promoted, haven't they?
Oh, another one. Oh.
Another one, Barnsley. Got a bit of a reputation. Never really thought about doing Oakwell, but we'll see about see about it doing Oakwell. Oakwell to me sounds like a possible Gentry day. Has it been a Gentry day before?
It has, Barnsley.
I was going to say it sounds like a potential like if it falls in April, possible Gentry day. So see if we can get about doing Barnsley. In terms of the capital, we're looking at Fulham. That party boat looks like a lot of fun, so I'd like to go and experience that. If not that, we'll keep an eye on the League One playoff final. Charlton's another potential away day. The Valley would be a very interesting one. We've already done Sunderland, so don't really need to discuss Sunderland. This is just in terms of us.
Well, back up to plan to Fulham if it don't happen. It'd be Millwall.
Millwall. Yeah, let's go see what Millwall's all about. Not got a problem with Millwall. Heading down there, see what that's all about. We've got our final one in Birmingham to do. Are we going to do it this season? Birmingham City. If Derby County stay down, we've got another one heading to the Midlands, heading to Pride Park. Other than that, we're looking at far further out ones. You got Cardiff, Bristol City, Middlesbrough, other potential away days. So there's still plenty of away days to do. So yeah, looking forward to that. Some good trips. Hopefully be able to possibly potentially bring you on even at the beginning of the season in August. If finances and fixtures serve right and it falls obviously on a weekend, because we're not really able to do midweek ones, are we? So yeah,
work calls.
We are work calls, and it's just damn expensive, all these hotels and everything. So yeah, like I said, we'll see when the fixtures are released. Fixtures are released. It's June 20th, I think.
Yeah.
June 20th, is that right?
Yeah.
On the Thursday, so June 20th the fixtures are released, so that'll be an interesting day. The Premier League fixtures are released a week before that, so the Championship ones comes a week after, so June 20th to mark on your calendars for the potential away days. And don't forget, all fixtures are always pending. Well. Yeah, we've got all the home games to come.
We've lost to Bolton, so we've got two derbies?
Wigan and Blackburn, yes. And like I said, you've got a couple of the teams from Yorkshire. You obviously got West Brom coming again. That might bring a following. I think you'll definitely bring a following. Birmingham City and Leeds will. So yeah, plenty to look forward to. Sheffield Wednesday too. We lost Sheffield United, so yeah. There's plenty of fixtures to look forward to, and with all the warm weather coming around recently and the sun shining and everything, it makes you look forward to the football season again. I'm just happy we've got like a few weeks break here now, just to allow our wallets to recover and everything. But always a good, fun trips, and we do enjoy doing them, so we'll hopefully be able to bring you plenty more of them for next season. So
and hopefully some hope to get some home games at some point.
Yeah, at some point. I mean, can you have a good Boxing Day fixture for once?
Loads of Yorkshire team.
Yeah, but like you just want something a bit meaningful and tasty. That'll be good, won't it?
Yeah.
It's always like Hull or something like that.
Sometimes Leeds, Sheffield Wednesday.
Sheffield Wednesday. Something, I don't know.
I won't mind it being a derby, but we'll never do it.
I know, yeah. I'm not sure. At least we've lost Rotherham. We don't enjoy going to Rotherham. Don't enjoy playing them.
In New York.
So yeah, there's a bonus with that. And we've also lost Ipswich Town as well. They've been relegated. But we have got a Luton, a Barnsley, and potentially a Sunderland or a Charlton to come in the playoff this weekend. So there we go. That has been the video. One thing that has been requested with these podcast videos, and we're currently trying our hardest to investigate and figure out how to put these podcasts onto other platforms, because it has been requested. At the moment they're just available on YouTube, so if you're watching on the YouTube app, then you probably have to watch us. I'm not too sure if you can click it off and the sound still plays or not. I'm not too sure how that works, but if you're watching on like a computer or a laptop and that, just like go on to other tabs and go and have a do whatever you want and just have a listen in the background. But we are looking at other platforms. We've had a look at Spotify, I've looked at SoundCloud, looked at iTunes. We're just trying to figure out how to make it possible and make sure the audio and sound quality is good enough for you to be able to possibly and potentially listen and download it on there instead, so you can carry on doing your general task. That's something we're looking into and trying to sort out ASAP. We've got both our heads onto it, trying to figure out how to do that. So hopefully soon. But once we've figured it out, yeah, I'll let you know in a video when it is available. Yeah, if anyone does know how to do RSS feeds from YouTube, please link me somewhere and recommend something, because at the moment we're stumped. We're good at technology, but this is stumped.
Yeah,
I feel a bit thick.
Or do we need a provider?
I don't know. If anyone knows anything about it, do let us know in the comments below. But love for you to let us know your thoughts of this video and Preston's potential in the comments below if you wish.
Yeah, Preston fans, let me know your expectations for the season, transfer targets you want to see at the club.
Yeah.
What improvements can we make to the match day or pricing or our shirts? all things Preston. Just let me know your thoughts on Preston North End
and your thoughts on the new Nike kit for the home this season too. Please do let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget you leave your comments in the comments just down below. Then I'll probably read a couple of them out on the next video, so do stay tuned for that, because your comment may well be getting read out on my next video. We'll have the next podcast up, I have no idea when, maybe next week or something like that. Once I've put my thinking cap on, we'll probably have something else coming out very soon, so do stay tuned for that. So if you're interested, make sure you subscribe and press the bell and put your push notifications on. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a big thumbs up. We've got a like goal, 30 likes. If we could hit 30 likes, that'd be absolutely brilliant. If you want to go and check out Mr. PNE right here, Mixid Aaron, his links are in description below for his channel, Mixid, doing mixology drinks. If you want to go and check out my other channels and other videos, then you can do. Links to them are in description below, and at the end of this video I will leave the link for the playlist for the vlogs if you want to go and check out them away vlogs too. And don't forget, also you can go and check out my social media links in description below, and I'll see you all again for the next video. I hope you enjoyed this different style of video talking about Preston. If it's something you're interested in and you want to see on a more regular basis, please just let us know, tweet us, or leave in the comments
let
or
us know if
whatever.
you want to do a championship, and we'll do other teams if you want to see that. So
yeah, we enjoy talking about football. This is all a football based podcast and everything, so if you want to see that, just let us know. Just let us know in the comments below. So we'll see you again for the next video. So it's been JSGC.
And I've been Mixid or Aaron.
And there we go. And we'll see you again for the next video.
Peace.
Peace. Ciao for now.